some people say like, oh, we've got enough artists. It's like, no. No, 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 no. No, we do not have enough. We need so much more art, and we need more creativity. Interesting stuff, tacky stuff, good stuff, bad stuff. I love it all. I love everything, everything. It's all this little thing called art, and the outside world is just kind of nasty place that makes malls and bombs. I was always a wise guy, and I got in trouble in school, like Catholic school, and pretty obnoxious. You can ask my wife; she's put up with a lot. I think I'm funny a lot, and I'm not. But the world is absurd. It's hard to take it seriously. It's hard to think about all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world, and it produces a huge amount of anxiety. There's this like fine line between anxiety and beauty, and it's like you don't know where it is, and you're compelled. And I think art is really helpful, and I'm hoping it provides, like the finished work is something that someone else can sort of tap into and get some kind of relief from the anxiety, or some kind of vision outside of it. I say that anyone can be an artist, and I really kind of believe that, and people disagree and stuff, but I also think that there are people that are kind of born an artist. Like they just, the way they approach the world, they have an artist inside them, whether they become an artist or not, whatever that impulse is, it's in there. And then artworks that are created, whatever magic is in the artwork is recognized universally, It sort of doesn't matter if it's, got all the correct sizing and ground and proper stretchers. And making art, being an artist, probably doesn't matter, like if you went to school, or it's just like if we could just, help more people to flourish, I think we'd have a better world. I went to the Drawing Center in New York City in 2002, basically right after 9/11. And I had some, not quite portraits, but drawings / watercolor ink on paper of George Bush. And so I brought them in. I just happened to have Louis Kamnitzer, I believe, is the artist that was doing the viewing. And he is a very political, conceptual artist. And he was very short, and I was like showing him, not physically, just with his words, but he was like, they're political. And I was like, well, I mean, no, I'm not really trying to be, and he's like, you're either political or you're not, you don't play games, you need to decide. And I was just kind of like, and then I just kind of, after that experience, I was just like, yeah. So I sort of embraced it. And I really more and more interested in the problems of making political art and just getting right into that, but still making art, not being dogmatic and not taking a side. And I'm not going to be totally neutral either. But how do you make a work of art that has all that in it, but doesn't turn people off? I have this, like, definitely a major hang up about painting. Like, I kind of never considered myself a painter, because painters were serious. I always kind of drew, so I think my work would tend to be more conceptual. My approach to color is kind of more schematic. It's like, okay, we need to explain this. Let's do a diagram. Everywhere you see red, that's all the parts that you have to consider. And I love that kind of language. Some of what I'm doing here is looking at how humans identify and align with uniforms and costumes and everything. And so, like, what are the things that are red? And it's like, oh, Santa's red, MAGA is red. What if Santa Claus was a uniform and he was fighting or punching? Jesus is arm wrestling a leprechaun. We're settling all this stuff out. I don't know what it is. It's just like these middle-aged men that have been ruling the earth forever. And that's kind of how I represent them. And I just endless narratives of, absurdities and battles, and it's kind of endless, A finished work of art for me is almost like a sticky note, and you can walk by it day after day, year after year. And so it's like this reminder almost that you experience, in just a different way than if someone just hits you with a slogan or hands you a flyer and you read that and you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do now? But artwork, you can just sort of get very meditative and contemplative. And there's something really unique about art. It's this act where you have feelings and you're thinking and you manifest that into a form. That form now exists, and someone else comes along and has feelings from that form that might be the same as yours, but they could be different. So what just happened? This is what we call art. It's open-ended on both sides of it. And there's nothing else in the world like it. Everything else has reasons and logic and purpose, and it's prescribed, and we understand it. And art will always be this thing that is totally unique phenomenon that is great. And, good and bad art, it's still great, And there's a lot of activity that is done that is just thoughtless and ugly. We can put artists to work. There's no doubt in my mind. We can make our world beautiful. We are so far from living in a beautiful, thoughtful world. We have the money, we have the resources, but we'd rather take brains and energy and create incredibly sophisticated weapons that take all this resources and energy, the point of which is to explode. Not only is the thing that is this incredible object that you've created, technology, is it destroyed in the explosion, but we're also going to destroy whatever it hits on the earth. We're going to put a lot of destruction there, and the main point is to kill people. So the artists are just this tiny part of the whole world, and especially infighting, like, we're all in the same boat, even Damien Hirst, it's like, oh, he's a sellout. It's like, I love Damien Hirst. He's awesome. He's not designing bombs. I know rich people are buying his work and they're not buying my work. That's okay too. Leave them alone. It's not a big deal. It's nothing. It's not going to hurt the world for us to get bigger. Probably I can hear someone saying, yeah, but then if you did your thing where like more people were artists, if there were more artists, if we didn't like stifle all those people and stomp down, the people that wanted to be artists and say, you can't be an artist, you know. Then we'd have even more artwork, and then it would be a problem. Bring it on. Many years ago, I found it really frustrating to find studio time and work full time. So I started getting up real early in the morning, like 5 o'clock, and then sort of fresh in the morning. You've had your breakfast and your tea, and your mind is really empty. You don't have all the stuff from work that you're thinking about. Oh, I got to get this delivered. I got to call this person, all that kind of stuff. And I come into my studio and work for like an hour, hour and a half, maybe sometimes even just 15 minutes or half an hour. But I just kind of tried it, and I found that after a year of doing this, I actually got a lot of work done. I was surprised at how much work I got done. So I've been doing that ever since. And then I get another couple hours after work. So that's, everything is created in that time, basically. I mean, sometimes I get more done when I'm busy. They say, like, you know, you want to get something done, ask a busy person, you know. I'm in a pretty good groove now. I've kind of made my peace with the day job, and I've been doing it long enough that I do it pretty well. I don't bring it home too much, and I don't think about it. And it provides an income, and I kind of have a balance, and I just chug along, basically. To have a studio and find the time, it's debilitating. It's really, you know, there's nothing easy about it. You still have ambitions, and you ask yourself all kinds of questions like, what's the point of making art? What am I trying to accomplish? Do I just want to be famous? Do I just want to sell? Because you do want all of that. You want people to see your work. I want people to see my work. I want to get feedback. And you want to make things. It'd be great if you got rewarded. It'd be great if I didn't have to be a contractor. Although sometimes I really worry and wonder if I didn't have my day job, if I would like, and I had nothing but time, and I didn't have that tension. Maybe, I don't know. No, I don't want to say that, because we have to cut that.